some 5 principles of financial security, and I'll also quote some scriptures where you can get this. And number one, you need to spend less than you earn, and it can be got from Proverbs 13:11. Then we also, number two, avoid the use of debt. This can be got from Proverbs 22 verse 7. Then also we need to build liquidity. And this can be got from Proverbs chapter 6 verse 6 to 8. And number four, we need to set long-term goals according to Philippians 3:14. And number five, we need to believe that God owns it all according to Psalms 24 verses 1. And at times we have our thoughts, and our thoughts, we can call them the pit thoughts. And we also have his thoughts. What are some of the thoughts, just like we have seen from scripture, that God says about finances? And some of our thoughts, I'll begin with our thoughts, that many of the times are just myths and they are not true. So one of our thoughts is, if I have enough money, I'll have achieved a lot and do well. But what does God say about this? He says, only what I am through Christ counts. And this is from Philippians chapter 3 verse 8 to 9. Also, at times we think that if I have enough money, I can have what I want when I want it. But what does God tell us? He says, I already have so much compared to so many. I can be content with what I have. Hebrews 13 verse 5. Also, at times we have thoughts that if I have enough money, people will respect and like me. But we can learn to tell ourselves this from what God tells us. I will devote myself to God and not money. And this can be got from Matthew chapter 6 verse 24. Also, we have thoughts that tell us having enough money gives me power over my life. But God tells us that the gospel gives me the only true power in his word. And this is according to Romans chapter 1 verse 16. And the last thought that many of us and many of the times we find ourselves saying is, having enough money means I will always be safe. But what does God tell us? He tells us that I can't take my money with me, but I have an inheritance in heaven. And this is according to Matthew chapter 6 verse 19 to 21. So maybe you've been looking for the wrong sources of what financial health is for you. But when we realize that financial health is more of a heavenly thing than just an earthly thing, we are going to focus more on the things that matter. And yes, money is important. And we have even said that it's also a means to being able to fulfill the basic needs of our life. But we should realize that it's not the tool towards achievement, freedom, respect, power, security, and happiness. And only a God-filled life, a love-filled life can bring you satisfaction on those fronts. So remember to look for the right sources of financial health and share this video with a loved one and a friend so that we can continue spreading the gospel and spreading the truths about the different aspects of our lives.